Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Sustainability Simplified, your bi-monthly dose of how to seamlessly build an action-oriented, sustainable and profitable business. I am your host, Zitan, and today I'm in conversation with none other than myself. Yup, after a long time, in fact, it is only after the very first episode of my podcast that I'm now releasing a solo one. Today, we will be talking about partnerships. Sounds alien, no? Since we've all been working so independently, considering the unusual circumstances that all of us have, been going through. Throughout this episode, I will elaborate on why I believe partnerships are the need of the hour, specifically for the entrepreneurial community, even in these tough times. The word partnership has been around for quite a while now. But what really has the pandemic taught us, which increases the urgency to act together now, and more so for businesses? Here are the top 3 reasons why I believe partnerships are the need of the hour. Number 1, building a community. At the heart of any organization is its people. The first of the 3 P's of sustainability, which is people, planet, and performance. The first of them is people. And people are always in search of a sense of belongingness as well as identity. A partnership, a coalition, or a movement has the power to ignite ideas by creating an interactive community of like-minded people who actually believe in a particular mission or vision. An example that I have heard of from a senior person of one of the largest organizations that is into co-working spaces was the coming together of the leaders of such organizations. The key aim was to basically go on a journey of discovering the challenges and opportunities in this rather new and upcoming sector of co-working spaces. Sharing both their successes and failures, difficulties being faced and solutions being created to conquer those, gave a feeling of oneness, that they're all in this together, So basically focusing on leveraging the strengths of collaboration rather than competition, because in a sense, all of these were direct competitors, or rather are direct or indirect competitors too. Or as I'd put it, peers in this niche sector. Wouldn't you think this is a long-term and more sustainable way to approach your business and the growth of a sector too? That's some food for thought. In the meanwhile, let's look at number 2. Creating a safety net. Partnerships give a platform for harnessing the strengths of different stakeholders, which in turn sparks innovation. It creates a safety net through a familiar community, going back to point 1. Players tend to feel safer to express and advocate for a set of ideas that they believe in. This, in turn, allows for collective thinking and shared knowledge on more effective ways in which risks and uncertainties, such as the current crisis, can be tackled. The work done by the World Business Council for Sustainable Development is worth noting here. In early 2020, they launched the Circular Cars Initiative for the automotive sector in Davos. This initiative enlists a consortium of private and public sector stakeholders along the automotive value chain, who are committed to eliminating manufacturing emissions in line with the constraints of 1.5-degree climate scenario. A primary goal is to increase the recyclability of cars, their parts, and components. Sector-specific initiatives give a new meaning to peer-based collaboration, as we also saw with the example on the co-working spaces, going back to point 1. Since sector-based policies are also changing with time, varied players within the sector are collaborating to find out innovative solutions to challenges that are a threat to the planet, mankind, their business, and the sector as a whole too. And such collaborations don't necessarily have to be limited to large corporations. They're open for all types of enterprises, micro, small, medium, all types. Because, in the end, it is about a people-to-people connect, a peer-to-peer connect, and building a feeling of safety. Let's move on to number 3. That's slightly more macro. Globalization and the planet. In our hyper-globalized world, there is a deep interdependent relationship between global supply chains as well as human and other resources. These are constantly being shared between villages, towns, localities, blocks, districts, states, countries, continents, and wherever else you can imagine. Naturally, a change in one factor has a domino effect right across, whether positive or negative, and the latter has been clearly visible during the pandemic period. On the flip side, as humans, our relationship with the environment is also very much interrelated. In fact, we need our environment more than it needs us. During this pandemic too, we could see the change in the environment as a result of low or no business activities for a few months. For example, the Earth Overshoot Day got extended by 20 days in 2020 as compared to 2019. This is a clear sign that there is an urgent need for action globally for organizations to commit towards preservation of nature. Think about it. If planet Earth doesn't exist tomorrow, nothing else will. Don't you agree? With this thought, the Business for Nature Call to Action announced its signatories on September 21st, 2020. This call to action brings together more than 560 businesses to urge governments to adopt ambitious policies in order to reverse nature loss in this decade. NextMile Co. is also a signatory to the Business for Nature Call to Action alongside companies such as Unilever, Microsoft, Walmart, and many others. We will continue our efforts towards empowering businesses to grow sustainably. To sum up, partnership with relevant and like-minded organizations have the capacity to A. Improve business outcomes. As an example, we at NextMile Co. had consulted with a sustainable food company for their flagship product, natural honey. This project was basically to help them increase sales by identifying different market opportunities for them across the value chain. B. Drive innovation. As an example, we are consulting a corporate gifting company on how they can strategically collaborate with different organizations so that they may innovate their product line to build sustainable gifting products. C. Create greater impact through scale. For instance, NextMile Co. crafted a partnership building strategy for an enterprise that creates and markets upcycled hand-woven utility products. The key objective of this strategy was basically to increase their impact by expanding their scale. At NextMile Co., we collaborate with enterprises that truly believe, in the power of partnerships as one of the key ways to drive sustainable business growth. What do you think? Are partnerships important in today's ever-changing, uncertain world? I would love to hear your views. Do share them with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You will find me there on @Zitin Munshi. That's @ZitinMunshi. Also, do get in touch with us at NextMile Co. if you want to explore how your business can engage in fruitful as well as outcome-oriented partnerships for long-term sustainable growth. You will find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram on @NextMileCo. That's @NextMileCo. Thank you so much, as always, for listening. Until next time.